morning, guys. Happy Monday. So today we're going to be reading the next chapter from the Declaration of Independence, Chapter 6, The Shot Heard Around the World. After the First Continental Congress, a large, heavily armed militia formed in Massachusetts. The volunteer soldiers gathered up as many muskets, cannons, and as much gunpowder as possible. Of course, this was totally against the law. Remember, Boston was being punished for the Tea Party. Even town meetings had been banned, but that didn't stop Sam Adams and the others from planning for a revolt. What does the word revolt mean? The question was, where should we put all the weapons and gunpowder? Concord, Massachusetts seemed like the ideal place. It was a small, quiet town about 20 miles north of Boston. So here's actually a map of Massachusetts. Here's Boston, here's Lexington, and here's Concord. Unfortunately, British spies found out about where the hidden weapons were in Concord. General Thomas Gage decided to attack the colonists' stockpile. This would crush their ability to fight against the king, but the colonists had their own spies. They learned that when the Redcoats, a nickname for the British soldiers because of their red uniform, planned to raid Concord, it would be on the night of April 18th, 1775. So here's a picture of the British soldiers in their uniforms holding their muskets. What do you think the colonists are going to do now that the British soldiers know where all of their gunpowder is held? The colonial spies also learned which route the soldiers would take to get to Concord. It was Paul Revere who discovered that the British planned to sail up the Charles River to reach Concord. Revere and another man both mounted their horses and rode as fast as they could to Concord. They were able to warn the people guarding the weapons that the British troops were approaching. So do you have any ideas of what they might do with all of their gunpowder and their weapons that they were holding for the revolt? In the early hours of April 19, 1775, a group of about 75 armed colonists faced off against 700 British soldiers near Lexington, which was about 7 miles from Concord. Someone, no one was sure who, shot his musket and the fighting began. 8 colonists were shot and 1 British soldier was killed. The British Army kept marching towards Concord. All right, so based on this page here, and you can see there's a picture of when the fighting began. How does this relate to the title of this chapter, The Shot Heard Around the World? And don't just tell me it's because somebody shot the musket. What does this have to do with more? What do you think the British Army found there? Absolutely nothing. Because of Paul Revere's warning, all of the weapons in Concord had been moved. The Redcoats were so angry they burned down many houses and shops. How do you think that made the colonists feel? Then they headed back to Boston, but on their way, the British soldiers ran into trouble. More than 2,000 colonists, hiding behind houses, fences, and bushes, started shooting. The outnumbered British army quickly fled. Even in Lexington, where more British soldiers joined the fight, the colonists proved to be too strong. The British ran for their lives. This was the first real battle and what soon turned into a war. All right, so there we are. That's the picture of the fighting. Those are the British soldiers going in and burning down the houses. All right, so I want you to think from here, what do you think is going to happen from here? Make a prediction. All right, see you in a minute.